As Diablo 4's launch approaches, fans have been eagerly anticipating details about the game's in-game content. This is the period where players truly customize their characters with the perfect gear, assign skill points and transmogs, and they are ready to take on PvP and exciting in-game content. In this video, we will take a closer look at what Diablo 4's in-game content will offer players. Part 1, In-Game Content Overview. Diablo 4's game director, Joe Shelley, recently discussed in a video on the Diablo YouTube channel how the main focus of Diablo 4 is letting players enjoy the game as they see fit. As a result, there are a lot of different routes a player can choose to take, including PvP, exploration, dungeons, or questing. This allows players to continue to enjoy whatever aspect of the game most appeals to them, even after they have beaten the initial campaign. Part 2, Capstone Dungeons and World Tiers. When players reach the endgame, they will have access to a special capstone dungeons that must be completed before moving on to higher world tiers. Each level of world tier will unlock better loot, new items, and more dangerous enemies to provide more of a challenge. Essentially, world tiers are Diablo 4's difficulty settings, but players must finish the game on one in order to progress to the next highest difficulty. Part 3, Nightmare Dungeons. Dungeons are a large part of Diablo 4's gameplay, and the in-game content allows any and every dungeon in the game to become a special nightmare dungeon with the use of found nightmare sigils. Once a player chooses to make a dungeon become a nightmare dungeon, it will have its difficulty and play style altered, and there will be new objectives and things to do in the dungeon. This will also allow for hell gates to open within these dungeons, where mobs of enemies that may not be native to that dungeon can pour out to swarm the player. Part 4, Exploration. Exploration is still worthwhile in Diablo 4's in-game. As players stumble across Helltide areas, where Lilith's forces have been made stronger, there will be opportunities to fight these mobs of minions in random areas of the map for the chance for special loot in Helltide caches. Part 5, Fields of Hatred. Fields of Hatred are the areas within the world of Sanctuary where all PvP combat takes place. Players can try to collect shards, and once a person has collected a shard, it must be purified within the Fields of Hatred before it can be brought back to a town to sell in order to get cosmetic rewards. Other players will know when a shard is being purified, however, and will attempt to steal the shards for themselves. Part 6, Paragon System. As characters progress through Diablo 4, they start with a skill tree to assign points to. Once they reach the endgame, their skill tree expands into the Paragon System, an advanced skill tree that provides even more customization options for players. In conclusion, Diablo 4's in-game content offers players a wide variety of options to choose from, including dungeons, exploration, PvP, and more. The game's focus on letting players enjoy the game as they see fit ensures that players can continue to enjoy whatever aspect of the game most appeals to them, even after they have beaten the initial campaign.